everybody, Maria here, just popping in to share a little bit of groovy inspiration with you. For the first time, I just want to do something that maybe everybody can join in with. And I wanted to share how I get started when sometimes I have a block, don't know what I'm going to do. And this is where I start a lot of the time. So I make myself templates, okay? So what we've got in a groovy range is lots and lots of different nested shapes, okay? And we just combine them together. And I make lots of these, and I've taken these out of my file, okay, just to sort of show you some. So I've always got something. There we go. And they can be just very, very easy, very, very straightforward, or they can then get a little bit more complicated. You can do large or small pieces. This one a little bit more complicated, see? And then this one, I like that one, really like that one. All right, so this is where I start, because sometimes we've got beautiful plates but not necessarily sure how to compose a project. So I thought what we'd do today is I will show you how I actually come up with a design, okay? So I've started here. I've got a piece of parchment. I've already die cut this with the Pico nested squares, and I put a frame in place here already. This is the coordinating groovy plate. So just to sort of get that done and out of the way. So let me take that off from here. So I've done that. If you haven't got this, then you know that's okay. It just gives it a nice frame. But use what you've got. Alternatively, Clarity are still dispatching at the moment. It's just that they're only sort of dispatching orders a couple of times a week. Okay, so you can still order. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to come in first of all with this plate here. Okay, now it could be, you know, any shape. All right, so let me show you. I've got stars. Okay, fancy frames. More fancy frames, little circles, baby plates. I've got a different shape of ovals there as well, big circles, rectangles. It really doesn't matter the shape, okay? So grab a shape and jump in and join me. All right, so let's have a little look over here. So I'm thinking I want this oval over here. So let's line this up and see if I can get this nice and straight. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go about there. Okay, so here's where I'm looking. I'm looking at the top and the bottom, okay, to see that I'm nice and straight, and I'm following this oval here. So have a little look at the distance that you've got between here and the end of your parchment. Follow it around with your finger, with your tool, okay, so you make sure you're on the right oval. And again, look at the distance between here and there, okay, so that's all good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to stick that down with my groovy tabs. So rub with the tumble dryer sheets. I've already done that, but just a little reminder. And then I'm going to use my 1mm Pergamano embossing tool. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to emboss the oval shape. Okay, I'm using my groovy guard to hold the parchment down nice and flat. There we go. So this is the scalloped nested oval plate. It's an A5 plate. There we go. And there is also scallop nested squares and circles and rectangles as well. So nice selection of those. There we go. So I'm just going to work my way around. That way. I'm kind of trying to not have my hand in the camera shot, but to be honest, that's going to be tricky, isn't it? So let's just do it. Okay, round we go. Now on these plates, on the nested scallop plates, you'll actually see there's the tiny little dots on there as well. If I lift this up a little, let's lift it on the black mat so you might be able to see. Okay, can you see the tiny little dots that are around the scallops? So I personally don't bother with those, but what they're very useful for is if you emboss those, and then from the front you can actually use them as a guide for perforating with the fine 2-needle perforation tool. Right, here we go. So straight away I've got something emerging. So I've got my oval, all right? So I'm going to put these plates to one side. And what I'd like now is some straight lines. I'd like you know, just something to separate. So I can use anything. So I've got something like this one is rectangles, but actually if you haven't got those, I could come back with this plate here. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to pop this on like this. Let's have a little look. Let's see, making sure that you're nice and straight. Okay, I think that's looking okay. All right, so I'm lining the parchment up against the sides of that frame there. That should tell me that I'm nice and straight. I'm going to move my Groovi tabs up to here because I'm going to be embossing here. And same with that one, just pop it up there for the moment. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to put double line there and then across here, a double line over there. Okay, I could do even if I wanted to, let's see, we could completely separate these sections that we're going to do like a little bar in between like that if I wanted to. It's up to you. You could do a wider one and you could put maybe a little sentiment in there if you want. Once you actually start playing with this and creating your own little templates, that it just flows, it really does. Okay, so again, this is really sort of coming together now, isn't it? So you can see I'm creating areas to put designs. Okay, so let's have a little look now. So that, I would be quite happy having that in my little file, and then when I get new designs come along, you know, to do samples that are going to go on TV or whatnot, and I have a look in my file, you know, I can find something that's nice and think that will fit perfectly. So these really are a good idea. So so this is my sort of challenge to you for maybe for this week, is come up with something similar. Okay, it doesn't have to be what I've used. Have a look at what you've got. All right, but what we'll do, let's fill this now and I'll show you how I would fill mine. You can fill yours with whatever you've got. So let's bring in some other plates now. So I'm going to bring in my regular platemate. Okay, and let's put it sideways now. I don't need to have things the other direction. Alright, so we've got, now these are a couple of my absolute favourites for backgrounds. So this one I particularly love. It's also really sort of quick and easy to use. I've chosen that for this so that I don't put you to sleep, quite honestly. Here we go. So let's get my Groovi tabs again. Let's have a little look. Line this up like so. Okay, so I'm going to stick it down here because I'm going to put this design in. I'm going to put this design in the bottom actually, so let's take it that way, like so. I'm going to move to the side because you'll see the design is a little bit bigger than, a little bit smaller than parchment, so I'll show you how to piece that along as well. I think that would be useful. So let's stick down and get a new Groovi tab, one that hasn't got dog hairs on. Always handy. Here we go. Right, so all we're going to do here now is come in and just pop the design into place like so. Here we go. So it's really, really easy. Okay, and this plate is very good for a few different things. You can practice sort of white work because what you've got here is little, you can do little dots in between when we do the crossovers, but also it's a good one for practicing your perforating as well. If you get brave, you can perforate in between and make it really sort of lacy looking, or you might just want a nice quick design. There we go. So just cross those over now. Same here, just work your way along. So, okay, right, now we're coming up to the crossover area where I've kind of run out of road, if you like. So let's put these ones in. Go as far as we can. There we go. Okay, I've got no more design. So what I'm going to do quite simply is reposition the parchment. So we're just going to move across and make sure, okay, I'm having a look at the rest of the design that got in place to make sure that there's no tram lines there. There's nothing, it's just sitting exactly over the design, okay? And then this should just continue on flawlessly. There you go. Nice and easy. Okay, cool. All right, that's the bottom area. Another cool thing that you can do with this as well is if you want smaller squares or diamonds, I suppose these are squares on this side rather than diamonds, what you can do, look, let me move this plate. Okay, can you see that? So then if I put the design in again, I'm going to get smaller squares, yeah? But we're not doing that today. We just want a nice, quick, hassle-free little movie. Right, so I'm going to change plates now, and they'll come in with Leafy Swirl. So again, one of my absolute all-time favourite designs in whatever form, whether it be in stamp or stencil. I love the Leafy Swirl. It's a classic, timeless design and clarity. Right, here we go. So the stick down. I seem to have Groovi tabs everywhere now. There we are. Okay, let's get one right on that edge because it's kind of sticking up a little bit and that'll annoy me. Here we go. Alright, so again, I'm just going to come in with my 1mm tool and just glide around the design. Again, you know, this is a nice quick one to do. Okay, just follow it round. Nice little swirls. And again, this is a nice design for various techniques. So whether you just want to do a little bit of colouring, maybe you've not long discovered Groovi, or maybe you want to try your white work. The leaves on this are really nice for practicing white work, or cutting as well. There we go. If you're really brave, you can actually perforate and cut around all of this design and make it really filigree. There we go. So around we go. So are you thinking about what plates you've got? Think about the empty frame that we started with. What have you got in the way of background or texture? Design plates, Groovi plates. Are you thinking about a focal point yet? Because we're not onto that yet. For the oval. Okay. There we go. If you jump out of the grooves, jump back in. I am actually sitting in a kind of funny position because I don't want my head sticking in shot. So I'm sort of, I could do it being a little a giraffe at the moment, so I'm sitting quite a way back. There we go. Right, have I got everything? No, not quite. A little bit here. So again, make sure that you don't get carried away and go through your scallops or your oval. Stop at your frames. Got a tiny bit more there. Here we go. Let's have a little look. Let's scan that through. Yeah, okay, that's all in place. So let me show you what we've got. Okay. Cool. Let's turn it to the front. There you go. How's that? Bring that up to you. All right, that's getting there, isn't it? It's really getting there. So choices, choices, choices. So again, we could put something nice in here, or actually, you know, you could get away with putting a text in there. Make the text, if you've got some nice bold sort of lettering, you could put, you know, 60th birthday or that sort of thing. I think it would carry it because this is very nice anyway. All right, so I want you to choose, but let me give you a couple of ideas, things that I sort of grabbed, that I thought, oh, that's nice and that's nice. So let me just get rid of this so you can actually see. There we go. So this is one of my favourite plates. This is the roses, all right? So it's got butterfly on, love butterflies. You've got the small roses and then these really nice leaves. So they would be nice in here. You could bring some leaves into the design. And then also another favourite we've got, now this is actually a set, So this, I love this for the feeder, but then also I really love this one because of the beautiful branch. So that would go in really nicely as well. I could put some of the branch into there. Okay, sit a bird on there, that would be lovely too. All right, I haven't decided. Okay, I'm going to leave it to one side and I'm going to have a think about it. But in the meantime, I'd like you to have a little go, see what you come up with, and let's see on Groovi Worldwide. Okay, I'll come back soon with some more inspiration. In the meantime, check Barbara's blog. She's still blogging every day, and she's also working on some really cool things for you, videos and so forth, to keep you company. So take care, stay safe, bye.